Hello, hello, it's Imaginary Villain here, and I'm once again ready to get down to some game dev. Let's get the music started. Alright, so the plan tonight is to take my Annabelle dolls and make them murderous cowards. Like, I mean, they're really just these like little wimpy little dolls, but I want them to inflict darkness upon everything, which I already have a group that does that. And then I want them to all, kind of try to swarm and kill the player when it's dark, but otherwise they just kind of run away. Kind of, cower and hide. I need to find some doll laughs for them like that so they can be kind of playful and maybe a little creepy. Because, well, I kind of like them having tactics. Most of the things right now, they're really dumb. They all just kind of come after you, like just perpetual, and they don't have any strategy. And I think it'd be a little more interesting if they did, so I want to give it a shot like that and see how it goes. I made a new background and everything because I noticed the game was getting more complicated, so. Also, I rendered Poppet anyway, her face, because I needed a picture for the darkness thingy, and, might as well use it. I'm going to bring up the video thing here so I can actually see the chat this time, instead of missing it like last time. Which is just not the best. So far I'm 1 for 3 on actually catching people chatting. And that's pretty bad. Like, I missed the first person who ever chatted and anything, and that just seems like a terrible world. And then I missed the third person too. I'm a guy who chatted with me a long time though, about his zombie survival game he was playing. Whatever. First person who ever really chats with me doesn't have anything to do with game dev. What a strange world. Anyway, one of the first things I'm going to do is I tried testing out the darkness change here. I actually did this off stream a bit. Not much. I mostly just added the darkness command to test it out. I also have a better keyboard now. I found a replacement keyboard in our parts room, so no longer will I have issues, well, keyboard and mouse, so I won't have issues with the it just cutting out in the middle of me being able to even test things. So I really like the darkness effect in this. Like, it looks really cool. Unfortunately, when you go into the levels, it's like too dark. I tried putting lights everywhere for like on these levels here, like or like on these levels, so it's like oh yeah, I was working on a Halloween section, but it's got the wrong hitboxes. It needs to be fixed, so that might even happen. But I really want something releasable by Saturday, so even if it's just a prototype where you just battle some levels and test it out against the enemies to see if it actually works. Good enough, because I want people to suggest improvements anyway. But you can see the hitboxes are way off, and I need to fix that. I need to make more assets for it. And, yeah. It'll be a while before I do that, probably. But I was testing that out, but you can see it's even with all the lights on, it's still really dark. And then, let's see, I'm going to switch it back and turn the lights off. What it should actually look like. That's all it takes to switch the two. They're all just recycling the same one. And eventually there's going to be, well, the main attic area, a Halloween area for all the Halloween decorations, a Christmas area for all those Christmas decorations that every attic has. I'm going to have some creepy dollhouse stuff, and then a secret area that's going to be more about how all the dolls ended up there, which will probably be the last area. I really want these 5 themed areas. There might be more if for some reason the game keeps going far enough, but I also don't have the stuff to create the assets for what I need yet, so I'm kind of waiting for well, whenever Dad sells them for like $1 or $2 each, I just go okay, and I just buy a whole bunch of this just for funsies. I treat this like a hobby, so if I spend $1 or $2 for hours of entertainment, that is worth it. All right, so we're gonna switch that there, and then oh yeah, this mouse works so much better. Before I thought I was going to fix a mouse plugin, but no, it's just issues with that. Yeah, this looks so cool. Like, I almost want to make a point-and-click adventure game with just the look of the 2D world. I have thought about that, just a point-and-click game. Yeah, you see how dark it is, and it's almost too dark. Like, you really can't see very much. Even though I kind of like it a little better for purposes of it being thematic, it's just too dark. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and swap that out. It might come back in later. We're just skipping tinting the screen entirely here. I can't tint it in one and not the other too, because if I do that, then it'll look, it'll be weird because, you know, you'll go into the main attic and the main attic will have light, but then the area where everyone lives, it won't. So that seems strange. Let's put skips on for everything, and then I think I had darkness set up to skip something too. Yeah, turn this skip off. That should get us back to square one. There's a light item that I added in too, but I might just cut that. I don't know if I want there to be a way to... I want you to have to block the Annie's attacks or survive their attacks. I think that's really a better call than having, you know, them just be able to be completely negated. Because, you know, they're not... They're not that incredibly threatening to start with. Yeah, but see, this is so much easier. You can actually see where things are at. The lights seem a little better. It's funny, I actually tried community lighting for this, and I actually discovered a bug with it, but I haven't had time to fix it. So this is just way better, and then I want them to hit me in the darkness. You can just see the difference. And now, like, the darkness is, like, much more thematic, and it's really hard to see them now. It's like, say that I want them to be cowards, so... That's the plan. So we're going to work on all the Annies tonight. And then I'm really only going to make like 6 like areas for purposes of the prototype. And I really think that just means it should be 3 Annies, and then maybe just add a new Annie each one there and have the boss on the last one. Or maybe have... I don't know. Not sure how I'm going to do that exactly. I really don't want to put too many things in there because I want them to be really refined by Saturday. Versus having a lot of content by Saturday that's just not going to be very good. Because I think if I have, like, you know, 6 areas, each one adding a new type of enemy that are polished, people are going to enjoy that a lot more than, you know, 12 areas that are, like, somewhat mediocre. And then, like I say, the whole plan of this game is literally to just keep adding to it every week anyway, so it doesn't have to be finished or anything. It's like the Game Jam game that never ends at this point. This Annie poisons. And I did make a whole poison setup for them. I guess the question is, do I want them to do that? Well, the darkness mechanic could actually be a large portion of the game, too. Like, they could all work around a darkness mechanic where all the enemies are much stronger in the darkness. That's not a bad idea. I mean, doing a whole bunch of that for one type of enemy wouldn't be very good, but doing it for multiple types of enemies, or just having everything be tougher, would make a lot more sense. Alright, so let's look at the setup I have for this one here. Didn't I add a skip in for all that? Yeah, I did. I'm not going to have them do this weird dashing things like that. I have them do leap attacks instead. Actually, I'm going to put that separate. I don't want it in there. I'm going to make a comment for it. I don't comment my stuff enough. And I commented it somewhat fair amount for my other things, but I still don't comment enough. Darkness check. Do I want the Annie-Bills to even poison at all? Or would I rather they just all inflict darkness? Having a poison one's fine. Making him obnoxious to come after is pretty good. So let's borrow the Annie attack here and migrate over here and see saving myself some extra typing here. This attack is okay and all. I'm actually fine with them being even 1,000 away. Also, that's using the old attacks, the old comparison command. That's not as good, so I would rather use the better one here. So yeah, I kind of want the poison ones to get within a certain range. So I think I'm going to copy paste a bit here. Yeah, I still wanted to get within range. Then I want the action ticker in here. I guess they already had it. I just copied it twice, huh? That's weird. Oh, that's right. Supposed to this one here. Now, if they're within 1,000, they're going to go in there and try to spawn these. Poison shot. I think this needs an else. It already has an else, okay. That's the else. Let's see. I actually need else on this one, right? Gonna make use of that real quick. That doesn't really need an else. I guess it could be their movement. That's 196, number 1. Okay, their poison shot is which one? I need to streamline this. I really do. Also, I'm going to shrink that a little bit so I can read the event thing at the bottom there. So 186 is their one. Oops, I don't want that. I need this. I don't need this one at all. The 178 is the damage check, right? Yeah. Oops. Okay, so actually the also here I need is I guess I could set their movement around to be really fast to run away. Because that just makes them really irritating, which isn't that bad. I think they should be irritating. Skip if Kanamu should just always be an option there. It's so dumb that it isn't, because it just locks the game up. What a silly option. There's never any world where you're just like, hey, I really want this command that just locks the game up if it fails. Some design decisions for this are so stupid. This is just they don't stick on the player. They really should be in smart jump too. That'd be very handy. I think that'll work. I almost want something that they just clap and it causes darkness. I haven't made extra animations for them. They all just kind of recycle the same clapping thing for everything, but maybe I'll make more in a bit. Mostly I'm not sure what attacks I'm making for them, so it's kind of silly to have extras. So 188 is the number of these things, so let's get them spawning in there. So far the regular enemies don't really do much anything. I think the regular enemies will try to clap the player to cause darkness. Oh, muzzle that up. Check for random lag. This new keyboard is weird. It's a keyboard you can actually roll up. I remember when I got it, it came in this tiny little box because it had just been all rolled up into a little ball. And I was like, what in the world? It works. It feels strange and kind of spongy, but... you know, unlike my super silent, like $40 Logitech keyboard that broke after, I want to say 4 months. Or at least the little dongle started having issues. This actually still works, and I've had it for probably like 1.5 years. And it was like, I think $12 or something. It was real cheap. Where, oh where are the poison annies? There's the big Annie. But I need a poison Annie. There's one. What are you doing, little poison Annie? I need the darkness to be high enough that the poison Annie's come after me. Come on, little poison Annies. I think the poison annies need to have a way to inflict darkness as well. They're still firing poison at me even close like that. So Someone asked if I was doing this in RPGMaker. It literally says on my little thing for the stream that it's for RPGMaker MZ. I mean, jeez. It's the 19th one. Oh my gosh. I've been working on streams for this over 60 hours live at this point, and they're wondering if it's actually, you know, really RPGMaker MZ or not. Listen, if this were UE, well, I don't know if I would restart this game in UE, first of all. And second of all, it would look really good. I'm just saying. But I also came to this simple conclusion. Most people who would be watching this are probably game devs anyway. And, you know, you probably, most game devs I've encountered don't really have very expensive computers. So, yeah, they, can't really afford to use UE. Maybe 4. UE 4 is a little better, like as far as resources go, but otherwise, you're kind of SOL. I switched to UE 5. I ended up buying a whole new graphics card and everything, and upgrading my whole computer. I think I dropped, I don't know, $1,500 in upgrades on my computer. And it runs UE 5, but half the people here are like complaining that their MZ uses too many resources, that this uses too many resources. UE5 is just not a thing. I had this set where they were only triggering if they were far enough away. I actually want them to be closer than that. I don't want them to be well, how cowardly do I want these to be? Like, do I want them to run really far away? 1,000's really far. These are 1,000 pixels, not 1,000 squares or grid space or anything. And then I wanted to run away from the player, get close, so that's fine. And then if they're too far away with the darkness on, then it will cause that. Then they have the clap action. I guess for now that's what I want them to do, but I think I almost want them to have a different option. But I kind of also want them to go all Knight of Knives, where they, like, you know, just all come after you. I also think this needs to inflict a greater amount of darkness if there's going to be less of them. But I want the player to be hit by at least a couple of them before it triggers. I have to remember to actually check the stream thing because, like I said, I'm 1 for 3 on catching chatters. And that just seems like something I should improve on just a little bit. Alright, where are they at? The sucky thing about testing multiple enemies like this is that you have to try to get them all to spawn, and the third one will take even longer. The mouse movement's still a little finicky, but it's not that bad. Like, it was pretty off before. You still need the keyboard, though, so... And the interaction between the common events thing and the... Why is E not working for ghost form? I need to figure that out. Anyway. That one's trapped. I need to work a better system for them not getting trapped. I think it's because before I was just checking to see if they could move to nearby space, and not actually if they, or actually if the space nearby them was passable, not if they could move to it. They run away. That they do, but the darkness isn't high enough to trigger their other behavior, so... Come on, behaviors. I mean the dark ones. Come to me, darkness. Come to me. They're actually kind of irritating. Look at them go. They're just obnoxious. That was a darkness one. You get real dark here. Come on. Come on. They don't really chase the player, though. I don't like that. So why don't they chase the player? Well, for these ones to actually do that, they're going to need to do the others. Just responding to something important real fast. You know, they could fire 2 poison shots instead. Or a bigger poison shot. Maybe they need a bigger poison shot. I do like that they run away. That seems good. So this works here, like, but there's not enough darkness going on, I think, for them to actually, like, if it's less than 9, they do this. Otherwise, they're so far away because of this behavior that they don't get it back in time before the darkness is high enough. What if they actually switch to firing the dark shots too, but only if they're if the darkness is high, like they sit there and compound it even more. It's not a bad idea. Let me put this number here so I know what we're doing here. 17. Actually, that's the explosion thingy. No, I want them to fire 195. Wait. No, I haven't rigged it in a way that they can inflict double status ailments, so... At least I don't think I have. I'm just going to do 2 different ones. I think it's just smarter. Designing a whole other system seems unnecessary. I don't think I'm going to have them do the clap thing. I just think that it's going to be, I said 190, I'm going to make their own special one. 197. Actually, let me just do this here. All right, 197. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The poison needs to be more effective too, but this way they'll actually keep maintaining the darkness as opposed to the current system where it's not the case. And it makes the shadow annies actually dangerous. Because all the shadow annies do is try to make it dark. And they have no method of damaging you unless it gets dark enough. Then they'll come in and just start stabbing you as much as possible. Well, I guess they slap you. They don't really have knives or anything yet. That might happen. I really like the whole darker look. But like I say, I really do need the ability for people to see the game too, so. I'm still trying to figure out what the boss Annie's going to do, but I think I'm just going to have a level with the regular enemies, a level with the boss involved too, chasing the player. I gotta fix the ghost form too. I broke it. I was gonna try to switch to the dash to use it. Oh yeah, now they fired that second one. Good. Maybe I make it where it's just if the thing is dark. If darkness is on. Maybe not a number. I really want them to combo well together. The big Annie doesn't do a whole lot yet, other than just launch a bunch of projectiles. I need Shadow Annies to show up. So I can see their behavior, but it looks like they work. It's just it doesn't play very well. I always gotta remember, you always have the ability to block everything, so I can make it pretty damaging because you don't really run out of blocks, so I don't see the Shadow Annies. Come on, Shadow Annies, where are you? Yeah, they just extend the darkness now. And maybe a light orb actually that does actually reduce the darkness is pretty good. Because they managed to pretty much get it up there pretty high there without much effort. Look at how long this is lasting. It's actually probably too long. Like their extending thing needs to be shorter. That's kind of why I made a separate one. This is an add-on attack, so it should be maybe a little less ridiculous. Also, their poison needs to do something. I think poison just does one, though, over and over. Let's tweak it to 4. I think that's what it set, though, to just do 1 damage. Oh, wait. This is handled by just in the actual system and not a plugin. Maybe poison should just trigger faster. It just does increments of 1, but it'll happen every twice a frame. Actually, twice a second. I need a way to make it a little more obnoxious, I think. I almost want poison to be something one of the other ones does. And this could try like pools of darkness instead, but I pretty much decided that it's these 3 enemies that are going to make it to the final, to the prototype. Probably. It might be not the, I might not need all of them. After all, if there's 3 types of anti-bells, I don't know if I want to introduce them all at once. Or maybe I do. Maybe I just want to be like, hey, this is the concept of them. This is what they do. Good luck. Having them be teams is not a terrible idea. The regular antis don't do anything, though. I like the idea of them all being cowards. So having them try to sneak in and attack the player seems kind of ridiculous if the lights are on. And I want them to try to keep the lights out. But I do want items that reduce the light problem. Honestly, maybe I should just make the little the time rewind thingy reduce all the status ailments on a player. Just a generic reduction. Versus having all these little light items and everything like that. Because every new item that can be possibly dropped also reduces the effectiveness of all of them. I don't really want that many random items to collect at the moment. At least just kind of move towards the player and try to clap them. And we're going to steal the Shadow Annie's template here first. Because everything should use a somewhat similar template. I could actually make a special common events for each one, or sorry, so that they can all use it. Nah, I'm just gonna make the 3 enemy. I don't need to do that. That's just, they're not going to be close enough to each other to really think that's the right idea. I used to have a system set up where it's movements and then attacks, but I think that's just unnecessary. Well, the regular antis make pentagrams. I don't have like a burning status ailment yet. And I don't have a frozen status. Oh, I mean, I don't have a slow status ailment set up yet, but I don't really want them to have all these things at once. It's already ridiculous enough that they have 2 things they do. I think all the clown heads inflict burning when they get to it, because they already explode and hit the player, and that's... Maybe the clown heads should be the ones that are in there. I don't know. I really haven't done much with them. So far, the Annies and the Teddies are the most complex of the enemies. Huh? Let's do this here. Let's just stick with making them like they are. I think I'll stick with the coward idea to a point. But if they get close, I might have them leap in. So, actually, that's stupid. Why did I copy all that? That's dumb. Maybe these ones will do what I wanted the poison ones to do. Yeah, or they retreat but then come leaping in. Pure opportunists, otherwise they just act normal. Yeah, I like that idea. Like, they don't really cause the problem, but if they happen to see an opportunity, they just come racing in. They're not going to move as fast away from the player. They won't be quite as irritating as the other ones. But I will make them leap towards the player significantly more often. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll just introduce them one at a time to make the levels a little easier, because bringing in 3 types of enemies at once against the player would be pretty savage. Plus a boss version to try to get the items? I don't know about that. That seems kind of... I don't know, I mean, you have one level to figure out the tactics of 3 enemies, and then another level to deal with that, plus add a boss on top? Or maybe I should make 8 levels, honestly, and just have introduce each type of enemy and then add a boss on top of it to make it a little fairer. Let's see how they all play together, though. Actually, before I do that, the little ghost form is broken. And I am not sure why. I think having the controls work so I can see how they play against actually having all the abilities is probably a good idea. Auto common events, it's this one here. He's 91. That's right. Okay, so 91 should trigger if SP is greater than 1. Was maxed out. It does those abilities. I don't recall changing anything here that would cause this to break. And yet, it's not currently working. Do a quick test again here. This keyboard is so weird. It's all flat keyboards that are just all spongy and, well, not flat keyboard, but a roll-up keyboard. They're just spongy and kind of feel like you're typing on a slightly spongy desk because they don't really sponge in very far, but also your hands are at an angle that's much closer to the desk, so they're not as deep as a normal keyboard. That's weird. That's weird. The character kind of moves around when I hit this button. So, which button is used for that? Because it's not working as I want it to. Actually, Aura and Effects handles it. This one timer is on. 45. It didn't set it to true. Oops. Strange. This key works just fine, but that should have said. Oh, I see. SP is not regenerating. Mana regenerates, right? Huh. Well, that might be helpful. Oh. Probably helpful. Okay. Well, that was an easy problem to fix. When I tried to set up my experiment thing, I actually just made a copy of the common event, and then I didn't bother to put the... I turned off the switch work, so it just triggered off of the switch, and I didn't bother to put it back on when I deleted the new version and switched back to the original. So, there you go. Yeah, the thing is wonky. I get Pathfind's a little weird. I don't know why. Okay, well that is nowhere near long enough. I think I might have switched it down to a lower amount. Actually, I'm going to check a previous version of the game, see if they're bad. I had a good number for it, and then I foolishly decided to do all that. And, you know, did not work as I hoped. But I can always open previous version game. I keep a backup every day I work on this, so if you haven't backed up your game right now, make a point of doing so. As you can see, I do. So anyway, we're going to check this one here. So this way, whenever I do something stupid, I can just look back and go, oh yeah, that's what it was, rather than try to figure it out the hard way, which does happen. That was one frame. Did I adjust the ticker? I might have. Maybe I just set the speed different. So it goes to pop-it abilities. And this version here, to this, speed 5 there, I think might be the difference. Let's see. No? It's just going way faster. You know, one of the changes I might have made that's wonky and weird, I think it's this here, dash on mouse is just off. Might turn that up a little bit. Let's see how that plays out. A little different than the other here. Alright, so hope I clicked the right thing. I think I will just make it. I really don't want to over promise on what I'm trying to get done for Saturday, because I want people to be able to test this on Saturday. And I get the feeling I'm going to end up dropping a lot, because I don't think it's going to get finished by then, or I don't think it'll be competent by then, and I'd much rather have something that's just polished enough that it just isn't a miserable experience. They'll still blow up a little earlier than I want them to. There's a few random glitches that are just kind of obnoxious. Okay, I want them to get closer than that. I don't like where they're at. Also, I almost want to wait the amount that they spawn. Like, I kind of want the shadow enemies to spawn more often. Also, there's a downside of these, because if you chase them too far away, they won't attack. They do. I like how they run away all crazy. Like, oh no, God! Get away from me, oh jeez. They're kind of irritating thinking about it. Like, they're obnoxious. Actually hard to hit. Actually, I don't seem to be able to hit them. Why can't I hit them? There we go. Okay, that's actually irritating. Like, this doesn't even hit them hardly ever. They're so evasive. It's like you have to shoot in advance, but they'll just keep running away. Okay, well, that's annoying. They are supposed to be annoying. That is true. But maybe not that annoying. So, Can't wait to hear if my mouse clicks over and over in the, I'm going to check it later. I'm using the loaner stuff, and the loaner stuff's not very good. By loaner, I mean I found it in our computer room, where all the parts were just of computers of, you know, Christmas past, present, and future. Well, not really future, mostly just past. If they all glom together to life one day and try to kill us all, I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, while I'm at it, Just trying to fix this thing so it actually does a little better, I guess. Like, I just don't think it lasts long enough. There's been no balancing, so everything's just testing to see if it's actually going to be a good idea or not. And at this point, that's also part of why I think I should have less and just have it available. Because the testing part is something that just didn't really occur to me too much. I think I might make a point-and-click adventure next time. Doing puzzles would be pretty easy, and I could make some pretty neat visuals for it. This whole extra system of a Diablo clone, sheesh. Of course, I might make art in RPGMaker as well, in which case, like the game and Remember Tomorrow, art for abbreviations. Why is it turning off? Like, it still destroys itself when it reaches the location. Let me check something here. Am I spawning the right projectile, or am I using a different one and just being stupid? 134. Page 2. Somewhere around here, I have a thing that's telling it to just do that and break itself before it reaches the time, or before it reaches anywhere beyond a certain point. Like, it just goes to literally where the mouse is and then stops. That doesn't seem right. Somewhere there has to be code for this. So collide triggers there. But if collide triggered, it would have hit the enemy. It's not checking for distance at all. It's not checking for distance. Projectile 2 is in fact what we're doing here. It triggers this code, not the other code. Does projectile movement do it? No. Okay, something's weird going on here. So I'm gonna run myself a logic chain here. So I'm flipping a switch that says goal true here. So it only runs this once, and it should actually get the direction, as I thought it would. Let's get vulnerable. Actually. Alright. Once again, I'm going to have this up just in case someone actually chats at me and I don't miss it again. Okay, and then... Oh, actually I don't want that. I want just the console. Actually, that's just fine there. That should hopefully give me an idea of what's going on. Because it shouldn't actually destroy itself. Like, that's not a... Not what it's supposed to do, anyway. Okay, well that lags the game like crazy. Yeah, it doesn't ever do it. But if that's the case, let me close the other version that I don't care about. So 134 does spawn. It's the only one. They're all not those ones there. It's like a projectile one here. I appear to have made a critical error somewhere that makes this projectile not that efficient. I mean, I guess I could run the code to get the nearest enemy if there's something nearby. Move towards that. But let's see, page 1. It adds the projectile array, of course, sure. Puts itself switch A. You'll see the projectile spawn thing up here. All right. No, it looks like it would affect anything. Keep raising the time on that until I get an idea if that actually makes a difference, but it shouldn't because it's only reaching the point there that actually the mouse is, and then it destroys itself. And that doesn't make sense because there's nothing telling it to flip to itself switch D at that point. Alright, so it's just the destroyables array that would tell it to destroy itself like that, but there's nothing at that location, so it doesn't seem like it would be it. It only runs this code. This other code doesn't even affect it. And it should only do D-flip if it's it actually hit something. I'm gonna do a quick check here. Our variable check if the player is the one spawning it. Bug testing. It's pretty much 90% of this entire thing here, seems like. You make some crazy system and then somewhere along the line you made some weird code decisions that just mess it all up. Actually, console logs and just running around and testing, it's your best bet. Figure out where the information is not actually lining up. All programming is, all game design is just handing information from one to the next, you know? Big game of telephone, except for in this game of telephone, it's supposed to actually arrive as the same thing. Ooh. What's that? Why did it lag so bad? Wow. It actually runs this code so many times. It runs it 1,000 times. Huh. Well, just in case you think that RPGMaker can't handle the code, you would be wrong. You would be wrong. I'm gonna see if I can just shoot a weight here of like 1 frame. Or if that messes up the movement so it looks terrible. It might. A lot of my things, that's the problem with the pixel movement, is that if you if it doesn't keep moving everything, if it stops and waits at all, it just looks jerky and weird. So usually I introduce a wait or a ticker to prevent it from running the code over and over and over like that, which is what it's doing. It still ran it 1,000 times. I'm gonna switch to the other future steampunk one, because I'm tired of this song. I need to get a list of all the things I want to listen to on stream and everything, but ones that I can listen to. You just build a list of all the ones that actually are much better than the others, because I have so many tracks to go through and I just never want to sort them. Okay, so Oh. I'm a doofus. This runs a loop. So putting it outside the loop, it'll never trigger the wait. I forgot that there was no reason for these to ever break their loop because of the fact that they were always going to destroy themselves before it mattered. So I guess technically at that point I don't really need a loop. I think that was the reason why there's a loop, because I didn't want to repeat some of it, but the rest of it I wanted to repeat. This projectile is wholly ineffective. recall this being a problem last time. I think this is probably my favorite track out of all the future steampunk ones. Just around here. I should have just left these in. You kind of need the player's main projectile to actually do what it's supposed to do. This is kind of silly. Testing, testing. Over and over. Well, the timer works. It just doesn't pick up the new direction. Uh-oh. Once again, exactly why the editor for RM itself is terrible. Go ahead and dump this over here so I can read it. See the problem? Then dump it back in here. Not gonna lie, if the people who end up watching me doing this aren't the people from RM and instead of just random people from YouTube, I'm so switching to UE. Oh my god. Because so far, the only people who really watched me are like one person from the Discord and then random people. So maybe it's all about people being more curious about game dev than actually being game devs. Something to think about, really. I mean, that could totally be the case. Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Of course, I also need to just keep a time and always go in that time. And I think the 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. is just when I'm most able to do it. I tried doing it earlier and I always feel exhausted, but it's like I get a second wind after midnight. Like I'm a gremlin or something. RPGMaker gremlin. Don't feed me after midnight. I'll do game dev. Why am I running around? Yeah, it just doesn't move forward after that. It's weird. Interesting. So goal goes to true, and then I should have made these more descriptive. Oh. I deleted something important here. The thing that sets it to true. So it breaks the switch, or breaks the no, switch really, because this only triggers. This so it triggers once. It does the goal check for the goal thing, and it's supposed to make goal true after that, and I only do this one time. This doesn't need to have two of these. Just one is fine. Right? Because it's just going to... Yeah, I should just run it once, and then... Your console log on this one. This keyboard still feels so weird typing on it, but whatever. Gets the job done. Yeah, whatever I've done by Saturday, I think is just what I'm releasing. That's just how it is. I really just want this so people can test it and see what can be done in the engine, and then I just want to keep changing it and improving it. So, more importantly, I want to see if there's any interest. If not, you know, I'll find something different, dude. It's fine. I kind of like streaming game dev anyway, so. Yeah, it's not picking up a new direction. Fail, 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 fail. And then right there, it's close enough. So it stops. So by the standard of that, still kind of a wonky mouse a bit, but that's okay. So by the standard of that, we know this does eventually trigger. And it says that there... Let's put it after this. I think projectile movement itself is the problem. Is it? Yeah. Sometimes when you start bouncing through enough of these things, it starts to have issues with remembering what this is, so, you know. Time to spell it out for it. This is literally a thing because it won't move towards or move forward will actually only do 4 directions. So I have to actually create a jank version of move forward where it just takes the last direction of the event and then does that. And last direction is set by queue movement. So now it should guarantee get it, because if there's one thing the command events do, it's hand the event ID of whatever called it. If you use this, then it just does the game interpreter, and that's not what you're looking for. It's just not. Let's see, projectile here. Whereas this, I want this to be part of the game interpreters thing. That's fine. It's this awkward thing there where you're literally from within itself using, or from within something else using this event ID to get it because of how they've coded game interpreter. Everywhere else, if you called it within, you would have to actually specify the event, but since it hands the event ID, you just don't have to. Yeah, I really like the dark, looks so much better. Oof. But only in that mode. Not gonna lie, this game could totally suck, and then in which case I would probably just ditch it. I don't know. I am still kind of concerned a bit. If you'll notice, it did actually do last direction of 6, which is going to the right. And then last direction of 3, which is down right. So that part is working. So some illogical BS in my code is, then at this point it should go to this. Actually, I'm gonna have it log in here instead. This is constantly going over and over and over. Oh. Oh. I need 2 of these. This is where the error is. Oops. Right, because it was doing this. And then once it triggered that, it would simply do this. Wait. I don't need that. The else is in the wrong location. This doesn't need an else. That's where the error is. Also, let's make a comment here. Oops. So yeah, it'll do this, and then we're going to reverse it like this. So if goals ever equal the true does projectile movement. I only want to run this code one time. This is why I hate all this nested if crap. Eventually it becomes really complicated, and it's a terrible way to program. But this is in RM, and RM has a very restricted amount of commands available to it. Unless you want to go into scripting, but the problem with that is the restriction on weights and movement. You can't do those inside of, like, you know, plugins and stuff easily. Oh. No, it stops. Does it anyway. But you can see that it is, in fact, actually running it. But it reaches the location and stops. Huh. Am I failing my logic here? Maybe I am. So, wait, what? How is that working? Because right here, it's saying that that is somehow within two spaces, and that can't be within two spaces because, no, actually it is, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Gotta remember, this is the Y's there, and these are the Y's, and the X's are 1 and 3 on that, so 2 and 4, 1 and 3. So then it goes to that, and then well, goal sets itself true one time. And it's clearly triggering projectile movement. Right? Because projectile movement is what's saying to log this in the first place. Wait. I could just go with last direction, right? I think there's something missing here. I'm logging the wrong information here. Maybe it's flubbing this somewhere. The plot thickens on this one. I think what might be happening is I'm not actually, it's not transferring the self-variable effectively over. I am kind of bouncing between common events, and they tend to not like to do that. They get confused really easily. Anyway, this will be fine. Yeah. Oh. Once again, why the script editor for RM is not very good. It doesn't warn you of little things like that, so the more complicated the script command, the more likely you mess it up. The good news is I can just do this. The fact that this projectile thing is proving such a problem makes me want to almost change it to the nearest enemy thing. I like it going towards the mouse, but maybe I should just have it get direction from there and just have it follow that direction instead of having it go directly to those coordinates. Kind of causing some problems here. So that just sets to 0. It doesn't set itself right at all. Alright, well, I have a fix for that. It's just better anyway. Actually, let's do this here. Let's eliminate the middleman. This is that middle management over at, you know, Twitter or Google or Microsoft that they've been firing as of late. It was just getting in the way. I'm not actually sure who they've been firing, and, you know, sorry for them, but we're going to go and assume it was just people who were drinking chai lattes every day and playing in the fun room, or whatever they called it. I've seen some of those videos of what a day in life was like Google. And wow, it's like daycare, but for adults. It's bizarre. Good for them that they're getting paid for that. I mean, if I got paid, that'd be pretty cool too, but somehow I think I'd also get really bored and have to actually work just purely because I wouldn't know what else to do with my time. Now, why'd I write it like this? Oh! Oh! You know, a real script editor would have told me that I didn't do that. I just put some random thing there. But RM, you know, its script editor is terrible. It doesn't tell you anything. Your best bet is actually to take this code, put it into a real script editor, and then copy and paste it into RM so you catch whatever weird errors. I should just remember to do that. Look at that. Much better. Doesn't necessarily hit them, but It's a little better though. That command does not work very well. Or they just have a lot of health. I think they just have a lot of health or something. Maybe. No, I think it's not working very well. I think the impact thing isn't very good in general. Yeah, don't rapid fire. Where it causes this problem, the player can stockpile way too many actions. At least that fixes the problem. Oh, I forgot to check on that. Whatever. I guess there's not any real reason to do that, right? Actually, this code here only needs to run inside of here. And then once it reaches the actual destination, it'll stop running the code. It's a little bit more efficient. And I just don't need this because it just picks its last direction and keeps following. It's not like the projectile is going to change its direction. Though I want to leave that code up for a second just to see if it comes out correct. We're going to test to make certain that doesn't flub anything. All right. So much testing, but I just need these projectiles to be effective. They seem pretty effective there. Oof, just clip my elbow on my desk there. Good plan, me. Right on the funny bone. Feels wonderful. Okay, so that actually worked. I just had forgotten to put that in there, but whatever. So I can get rid of all this extra crap, basically. And, yeah, this is a little more effective. Plus, it's not running hundreds of times, so that's helpful. I may eventually include something in so that it hits the, if it hits the border of the map, it also destroys itself too. But part of me almost wants through to be a thing on them and them just not really do an impact so much as just a distance check. I don't know, the downside of the distance check is it didn't work too well on certain things. I don't know. For now, we'll leave it as it is. It's one of, it sounds like a major change that I have to make, and we're trying to avoid that here. Okay, well, I don't need this. For now, I know I can make it work. Get rid of all those extra console commands. This just sets this true, and then from that point on, it does projectile movement instead. And then I don't need this anymore. So many of these consoles. You You got to remove them when you remember where they're at, otherwise you might forget. And that's awful. Currently waiting on to see if they're going to let me make another tile set for the graphic novel tile set, because I have a free one for MZ, but then I ran into all these health problems. I was supposed to make one for MB as well, and I never got to. And people are asking for it, and I'm just like, well, it's been like 2 years or something. I probably should make a point of asking if it's still okay. So whenever they get a response back for that, I'll make that and put it up for free on itch. So can't exactly charge for the stuff that is the default assets. They've just been, you know, altered. But I'll do the whole tile set. And then everyone can have a graphic novel style, which they look kind of cool. I mean, they're not horrible looking. Some of them look really cool. Other ones look, they're fine. Okay, so those work there. Now we're back to actually seeing how these things work here. Because then I really want to work on the anti-bells and make them pretty solid, including their boss. If I just have them solid by the end of the night, I'll be perfectly fine with it. I'm not even remotely picky. And then tomorrow night I'll pick another group of enemies and I'll work them like, I'll make them work, and then I'll probably set up a certain number of areas for the player to be able to go to, and I might just polish it after that. I might just have 2 bosses and then like the 3 types of enemies of each thing, and then just add them in either 1 per area or have a couple in the area. I don't know. Decisions. I wasn't even paying attention to how they were reacting. I was just so busy worrying about the other thing there. I was trying to figure out what they did. They fired a lot. Did they? What did they do? I was so busy worrying about the other things I didn't really pay any attention to them. I almost want them to inflict some kind of darkness attack. I really want their entire shtick to be darkness. Oh wow, that is way too OP. Oh, look at how long it takes to recharge, though. I need to change that back. Where are the regular annies at? They're here somewhere. So I want them to not spawn inside of things. And then, actually, I'm going to make a list here real quick. Do these. Any bills don't spawn inside of stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, and also ghost form lasts too long and refills too slowly. I keep forgetting to change these things. If I make a list over to the side, then that will not be a problem. Where are the regular annies at? I haven't seen a single one spawn yet. Oh wait, that's a regular Annie. I think I want them just to have a normal light. Oh yeah, white's just all Fs. Yep, press F for Annie and the fact that she can't hide. 300, we'll try that for now. shadow ones don't have a light, or if they do, it's like a really weak light. And then I guess the poison annies have a green light, but do they need a green light? I guess it makes it easier to see them, but it also turns them completely green, and that's not that cool looking, to be honest. Yep, stuck in the thing again. Maybe I'll have it turn each direction and do it, and just check and see if it's passable, and if not all directions are passable, then it'll do something else. And I just remember the pathfind forever. I need a way to cancel the pathfind based on keystroke. I guess I could always just use the mouse too. I think right mouse button should actually be... Well, let's actually do this thing too, so... I haven't found a way to make them both work terribly well together. I found some code that made them work together, but it was pretty bad. Where's the normal Annie? They seem to spawn so infrequently. There's one. But their behavior pattern's not very good. Okay, well, these things are just as ineffective and dumb as possible. Maybe a little dumb hop. Woohoo. Okay, well, now we see why I needed to look them up, because they are just a catastrophe. Just a complete catastrophe. So, if they're within, outside of range of that, they do that. This is be a normal shot, I guess. Those have them rapidly jump after the player. Oh, no wonder they're so confused. Out of their entire other one on there. I don't think I'm going to have giant things that say what it does anymore. I think I'm just going to have small comments. Since everything's so mixed up, instead of having all the movements in one, all the attacks in the others. There's a way I could set it up so it doesn't do it like this, where I just simply change the self variable for which attack it's going to do, and have all the attacks listed at the bottom. I don't really want to set all that up just for this, though. I think I'd rather it just be released at some point, so... Guess we'll see how that goes. I've been streaming for like an hour and 53 minutes. Didn't even notice. That's, unlike last night, where I was just so tired last night. Just couldn't do anything. Everything just made no sense. It's like, oh... I love how the new projectile works. And you make it take go less distance though. Yeah, the shadow ennies are very good at their attack. Oh, I forgot to change those. I even wrote it down and I still forgot. Think how long that is. It's way too long. I want it to be more common that you use it, but not as powerful. Because I want it to be pretty good evasion. One of the big problems is because the player is so fast that it the enemies have to be really quick to keep up. There's not multiple speeds in this. There's really just a dash and then a non-dash, and it's just kind of dumb, actually. Why is that not hitting him? That's weird. Also doesn't seem like it's flashing the message either. Yeah, it doesn't always consistently do it. Oops, wrong button. And her picture kind of vanished too, interesting. Alright, so there's a reason why I had this on 1 second for Origin Effects. Because it kind of affects both how long it lasts and how fast it recharges. I think I'll speed it up slightly by 20%. I'm also going to take a quick IO break here. Actually, IO break. Get back. I need to make an actual sign. Maybe I'll do that on stream or something since I do a lot of art anyway, just for fun. But I will return in a Alright, I return. I really do need to make a biobreak sign. I have not quite mastered the streamer bladder. I hope to go up a mountain somewhere someday, take the blue flower up the right one, so this way I can do that. Oh, someone actually here. And I missed it. Wow. Though, well, if you wander back, Zachary, you showed up during the exact brief moment that I was gone. Of course, you were literally only here for what looks like 30 seconds, maybe? Anyway, cool. Yeah. I am now 1 for 4 with catching chat messages. It's almost like they're taunting me. Oh, dope. Huh. I realized my computer was raised up a bit, but apparently it was. I have a desk that raises up and down. And I'm going to change it a bit. Yeah, yeah. Now it's all ergonomic. Yeah. Now it's cool. Okay, so what's the best plan with the Annies? I mean, she never really came after the player like that. There's not enough darkness being inflicted, I think, is the problem. I guess technically these can just add to player darkness, right? Like, I don't need special code to do that necessarily. I don't know if I want these to spawn events too, because they just kind of they're not doing anything. So I'm gonna do the spawn event on those. Like, originally I thought I was gonna have some sort of thing that it does, but this might be a darkness pool type of thing, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. What's the number of the event I want to spawn? 249. It's kind of interesting trying to think of like how the enemies would react. This is just not something I ever thought about when I was doing like all the different behaviors they would do and how they would try to act intelligent or something. So kind of a little I guess awestruck by the possibility and the amount of things that I'm gonna need to do to make it do what I want it to do. My respect for people who made things like Diablo goes up every single day I do this. And I realized that I was making multiple games at once and all the behaviors and just that I need to make. Huh. So I think I'm just going to steal the information from this, right? Darkness shot? No, because it's projectile 1 that does it. Well, I guess projectile 2 does the movement. Could I just cheat and do this? I might be able to, actually. Well, I don't want it to impact. No, I have a better idea. I'm too lazy to type this command. It makes me think the command is too long. But the command can be really short if it wants to be. It just depends on what you're doing with it. Oh, did I accidentally hit the wrong button? I did, didn't I? Smart. It's nice having a keyboard that actually works. I didn't realize how much the other one had started to fail until I started using this one. I was like, wait a minute. Actually, I'm just going to recycle this. And then remove it out of that wonderful skip there. So I don't need that. This is not going to trigger on far. It'll trigger on close. But it's only going to be like maybe 300 pixels. And then it'll destroy itself after a while. It can keep calling itself a poison timer if it wants. I don't really want to deal with it. But what it can't do add 5. Let's put a weight on here. You can't just inflict poison. That's not something it can do. Actually, once a second is fine. If you keep standing on it, I want it to continuously inflict darkness upon you. Where was it? Where's poison at, first of all? Poison is 124. I'm glad I looked, because I was way off. Okay, so drag this over here. I kind of make a point and click adventure now. Just for something different. We'll see. I mean, you know, like I said, I'm not exactly getting a lot of people watching me make this, so. But I think once the game's released, or at least the prototypes released, people might be more interested in it. Hopefully. If not, well, you know. There's always UE. There's the big one, but where's the little ones? Actually, I haven't seen any of the little ones spawn yet. Where are you, little ones? There you are. I wonder if I can make Q speed work. I really want the player to be a little bit slower than they are. They're just so fast. Huh. Okay, well, that's very effective, by the way. Too effective for how much it triggers. Actually, I kind of like it a bit. Because then I don't actually have to have them fire an additional projectile. It makes them all inflict darkness. So this one... Because these little pools will add enough that it won't be such a big problem. And then for you... I think I'm just going to stick with the darkness thingy. Everyone inflicts darkness. And then I don't have to have this... Well, wait. So... The way I had it with them was if the darkness is on, they were tougher. But I guess if they all keep adding to the darkness counter, then that makes the Shadow Annies way more devastating. Yeah, no, maybe with them I'll just keep them firing the double projectiles. It's better to have a bit of variety anyway. And these ones also base their thing on if it's dark enough or not. But I think I want them to go in if it's much darker, like it's been darker for longer. Maybe like 15, so this way they'll stack it. So that the Assassin Annies can go in there and do the deed. Which would be probably better, I think. Yeah. I don't really want them to all shift their actions upon seeing just a certain amount of darkness. Like I want them to have, like, varying stages of how bad things are for you. I have no idea how I'm going to balance this. Alright, let's see if we can locate some of these ones that... Oh, we know what the shadow ones do. We don't know about the other ones terribly well. Oh, kind of that one, whatever. Where are the other ones? If that hits, then it leaves a spawn pool. If you keep touching the spawn pool, how often is the trigger? It needs to have some indicator that it's causing darkness. Okay, so gotta grab myself a message command. Preferably would having to type it all out, but see if I have them around or not. I need to fix my message command anyway for damage. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab this here. We're going to have a message that spawns. It'll spawn in this event ID. Actually, no, it won't. Put it on the player. Darkness. And that time's not very long. Let's give him... I guess I'll put +2 on there. I'm going to come up with a better message at some point, but... So it lasts for 1 second, says darkness. Is that long enough? 1.5 seconds? Actually, no. If I have a weight of that there, I'm going to make it where it'll trigger every 2 seconds perfectly like that. And then I need one for the other ones too. I should rig it to a variable, but whatever. First I want to see how it looks, and then I'll go from there. I really need to increase the enemy spawn rate. I'm going to test these. Alright. Well, it does tell the player when it's happening. I'm sure sound effects will probably help a bunch too when I actually put them in there, but when it damages the player, come on. Oh, that's right. When they I want to raise up where the damage is shown at. So Y and then minus these are in pixels. That might be too much. We'll do 100. Yeah. That's fine. This one too, we'll do another Y. I probably need a new font for this too. We'll do -80 on this one, I guess. In fact, I think I actually will create another font in a second for that. I mean, why not? My plugin lets me use any number of fonts. I might as well do it. Now first let's see how this works out. And then I'll make a darkness font. Where are you at, little one? Well, doesn't really raise it up enough at all. Just puts it right on top of the player. Oh, that's a little better. At least I'm not on top of each other. Alright, I need myself a font. Grab the thingy and get to work. So I have it set up to use Pixie text as whatever, as my fonts, and I can just make whatever I want. So, well, I'm sticking with the same base font. That's true. I think the size is fine with that. Let's add my font back. I think the what is it, some of this true type font, or whatever. As long as it looks like what it needs to look like, that's all that really matters. And then, am I doing a fill system? Maybe. If I do that, I'm going to want to drop shadow, make it white. I think I'll make the background black for purposes of seeing what we're doing here, because it's only supposed to trigger when it's already dark, so that might be kind of handy. It's going to have to be ironically bright. I don't know if I want to make the alpha terribly low on that, but maybe. I guess it's not too bad. I don't care about multi-line. Already does multiple lines. I don't really need any kind of texture. Might be all I actually need, honestly. Let's just clear the font because I don't care. Actually, do I care? This is me trying to remember how my own plugins work, because I made it so long ago I forgot. Let me bring up the font thingy and look. Okay, I do have the font family there. I figured it probably mattered, but at the same time, I think I wrote the plugin like 2 years ago or something. And all the commands for it are just, well, I don't remember them that well anymore. We will call this font darkness. I do most of my saving off the screen, so I don't reveal personal information accidentally. I will bring it back over in a second. collection of fonts. I kind of recycle in between games because, you know, I don't really want to have to make a bunch of new fonts, even though they aren't that hard to make. But recycle, reduce, reuse. Close the game dev loop. Also, it occurs to me I should set this message in the actual projectile thing too. So when it actually inflicts the attack on them or inflicts darkness, it'll work. Not just the poison, or not just the pool that does it. Oh. I have to actually copy the code from it, not the RPGMaker command. The VS Code does not understand the RPGMaker command. No, it does not. All right, I don't need that. Gosh, that's right. That's fine. I think the time duration is fine. All right. I wish I could make it actually default the screen on this over here so I don't keep dragging it over. But I set the other screen as my main screen so that everything would pop up in there first just in case, so it's kind of a catch-22. It means personal information doesn't end up on the web, but at the same time it means I gotta drag that over every single time. Alright, shoot me. It could be slightly larger, couldn't it? Also, those last way too long. You just keep running over it and keep getting darked. Oh yeah, they last forever. Well, let's tweak the size a bit. We'll just knock it up a couple there. I don't think it needs to be too big. But those pools last way too long. Oh. That's because 120 frames? Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So I have that inflicting that there. Well, each one of those is basically a 2-second wait. So how long do I want these things to be there? 10 seconds? That's probably fine. Instead of basically the rest of eternity like they are now. They didn't used to have a wait. They used to just last 300 frames. So 5 seconds, but we doubled their power. Oh. There's a fun error you can do. If during just the exact wrong moment you try and drag the screen while it's loading up the game, or loading up any RPG Maker game from one screen to another like that, there'll be a brief moment where it says it can't actually be dragged and you'll cause an error. It's not a very long moment. It's just a handful, like maybe even a second or two. And if you're just a little too fast, it'll do it. It's just so weird. I discovered that when the full screen thing was happening, I had it in full screen on there, and that's about the right size. I had the full screen on there, and then I tried to drag it over, and for a brief moment it would let you try to drag a full screen window. Windows does not like that, by the way. Do I want to show how much total darkness they have, or just how much it's adding? Probably adding. Shouldn't say any change on one here, because this one's showing a total. So I just need to add status duration instead of the end result. I'm not sure I'm happy with the sizing on it though. How big is the health font? 36. Okay, well maybe it should be the same size as the health font. Oops. Just for parity. Save this one too. Someone watched for a little while. They didn't say anything though. Still 1 for 4 and responding to messages successfully. That's funny. Concurrent viewers is not very accurate though. Like it'll say someone's viewing and they aren't actually viewing because I have a little timeline for when they're actually viewing. And it we'll say they stopped viewing like 10 minutes ago or something. I'm all new to this thing, so it's always, you know, I mean, I guess I've streamed now like 72 hours or something. That's way better. Okay, and then for the damage window, I want that to be different too. I don't like the way it's set up. It needs to be show how much damage, not how much health you have left. Let's have minus and then damage amount. Oops. Also, this timer needs to be longer. Maybe 1 frame on that. Not 10 frames. I'll show you 1 second on that. As opposed to 10 seconds. I like how nice of them. Good for them. I like numbers and stats. I don't know if you can gather that from like all the coding I type in here. So then YouTube sitting there providing me with stats is just like, it's like crack. It's just like, it's just something that you're just like, you just got to keep looking and you're just like, oh my gosh. It's like drama for the average Twitter user. You just can't look away. Well, see all these weird stats there, and it's just like, is it doing well? What does this do? What does this mean? What's my average? All I know is a few days ago, actually 4 days ago at this point, I got over 100 hours total for the channel. So And so I'm doing pretty good. But I think the last 20 days represent something like 40 or 50 hours of it. I've had the channel for a couple years, maybe 3 years at this point. Why is it displaying that message? Oh, it's right, because Poison uses a separate message, doesn't it? NPC object damaged. Oh. You just copy that and then are you using different names for things? Damage amount? Oof, really? Really? Okay, well, I guess damage is a thing there, because sometimes it'll be 1 because it's set for one or the other. And this one will be 60. Sometimes I think I need to actually give time for the effects to really register, because they're just going so quick that they don't really register that much. Everything's so quick, it just doesn't seem like it registers very well. I wonder if slowing the game down would actually be to its benefit. Might be the case. I'm starting to really think that might be true. I'd have to lock out dashing unless the ghost form was working. I could also slow down how much the enemies do things, but everything's kind of sped up towards that scenario. Well, that's kind of cool. They just kind of sitting in a little area and, like, you know, they built a little thing around everything, like junk and everything. Unfortunately, it's like 3 of them. Well, they were blocking the path. That's actually kind of cool. Of course, I rapidly clicked the button. That's a problem, but there really needs to be a way to break those out of that. I need to fix that. In fact, I'm adding to my list. Way to break out of common event spam, I guess. Actually, attack spam. Get a bigger can to put it in, apparently, right? That's how it works. 11 views during. That's not bad. I think the last time was only like 7 views during. I just have better views during this time of day, I think. Also, I need to make a note for that there. The let's see. So keyboard movement needs to break pathfinding, I guess. Or I could just disable keyboard movement entirely. I tend to move by keyboard more. I might actually just disable the mouse movement. I tend to move by keyboard almost all the time. In which case then I could just have left attack, right do that, and then just move the keyboard, and that would probably be pretty efficient. Because the move by keyboard, I'm sorry, move by mouse, well, it looks nice and all good and everything. It has so many problems. Like right there, look, I'm locked until I move with the keyboard, and now I'm fine. Like, there's just so much wrong with it. And look, now it wants to go back to that location. It's just... In that version, it might just get taken out for that and make it keyboard movement. Also, did it break all the lighting or something? Why is it so light suddenly? When it wears off, what happens? No, it's just a little weird. The lighting's bizarre. Okay, so... Any errors going on you know about? No. Just the same 2 weird errors where I don't know why it does that, but... Just does. Okay, so I'm fine with how that goes. Oh, actually, hit me at -1. Sure, sure. Perfect, perfect. That's way easier to see it, though. Let's go get hit by poison intentionally and see what happens. Yeah, there's suddenly a lot of light. Okay, I need a poison font. Yeah, poison font would be nice. Make them all 36. I'm going to change up the music because it's really getting to that point of being way too many times through it. I really need to set up a better music library of things to listen to. I really do. In fact, let's see. I think I had some set aside that I liked a bit. I mean, it's like 28 tracks that I like so far out of the ones I found. If I just keep going through that 1,000+ Dark Fantasy Studio ones, I'll find something. Probably. Okay, so I like this one. It's probably good enough. Let's see. Call this font Poison. Let's magnet Poison into its folder. And then I'm going to add Poison to the list here. I really need to record how to use these so people can know. And then I'll just put them up available where people can pick them up off of itch if they want. They'll probably just be donations if you want, or just, you know, you can obviously download them for a 0 donation. Problem is they're so difficult for people to use. Like, they're not difficult for someone like me to use, or someone who's like knowledgeable about coding, but a normal person, they may not support it. Huh, yeah, whatever. Just because I don't use their awful plugin commands. Huh. I don't actually know what triggers that message. I just assume it's the lack of the plugin commands. I have no idea. So we're gonna set Poison up to work off of that. Where, oh, where are you, Poison? Each one will have their own height that they do it at. Can't wait till I have to add sound effects. Ugh. That'll be part of that polish issue. Maybe the first version will just be battling the Anti-Bells and they'll just make it really cool like that. And then the next week I'll add the next wave of enemies. And maybe I'll do that. That's not a bad idea. I really just want it to be something that I continuously update over time and that people can mess with. Why is it suddenly so bright? I do like how the little assassins are like a little ninja. There's a weird issue where the lights are just vanishing or appearing really fast. I don't understand what's causing that at all. Seems like a new thing. I think poison should actually trigger the normal amount there. Too fast. It's not even showing this stuff there. It's just showing one of them, and then it just goes away, and it's like, eh. Oh, yeah, someone watched for almost half an hour. Ah, no, 20 minutes, whatever. Still not bad. I have 12 views and everything like that, and during this. Funny part is last time when I was about to log off, that's when someone sat there for like 2 hours watching me, which was cool, you know. I can't wait until they actually have people here who watch with enough regularity they can point out my mistakes, so I don't have to find them. I must make use of the Twitch, or actually the YouTube chat. I want to say Twitch chat because I watch enough Twitch, but I don't have a Twitch yet. Like as far as a setup there or a presence there, whereas I have a YouTube presence. And YouTube recommends people, so I actually get views here on Twitch. I wouldn't have anybody. Be starting from literal nothing, and I don't want to do that. I'm a little perturbed with how long poison lasts. It's kind of a lot of messages that show up, though. Maybe I don't have the thing show up on the player. I could actually have them show up on the menu or at the top. Would the top be better? I don't know. That's something to think about. But for now, it's a working system, and I'm not going to remove a working system for a potential maybe better. That seems silly. Do I like how these operate right now? And the other question is, what does the boss do? Besides waddle around and be weird. Can never throw annies. I'm not sure what the boss would do that's so different. Well, I think that the boss should probably have a wave of darkness, right? Because if all the annies cause darkness in some way, shape, or form, and then she has some uber attack if the darkness gets really bad. That's an interesting idea. Even a lethal thing if the player just doesn't do anything about it. I'm going to make these light items much better, I think, because they need to help the player out, apparently. No item type follow. No, this is the heart. Isn't it? Did I not change it? Uh-oh. Did I change you? No? Where's the ball of light item then? I thought I set this up last time, but then I didn't. Really? Okay. That's interesting. That's already on item table. I'll go ahead and add this here anyway. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the spawn rates yet. All these things are getting more and more complex with each iteration, but so that means the next game is just going to be totally all about, you know, recycling the same code and just making it more and more complicated. And they're just going to bounce it back and forth between games, making the base code more complicated and then tweaking it for each game. So 256 should do that, but I could have sworn I made changes to that so that it would do the ball of light thing. Actually, I need a certain information here. It's ball of light, right? So weird. Alright, well, it's going to make all the changes this way. And then I need to check the effect here. Yeah. Okay. I almost want the anti-bells to spawn like that. Spawn ball lights more. I think everything needs its own spawn setup too. Yeah, they do. Oops. Oh, actually, item table is what it is. Actually, I have a rig to spawn either magic or the ball of light just about every time. Just spawn the ball of light. I want to see how it works. Actually, before that, I also want to make certain the ball of light has, I don't know, light emitting from it. It seemed kind of like a flavor fail if it didn't emit light. Quite the flavor fail. Alright. So... It's already almost 4. I don't think I'm going to stop at 4 a.m. I think I might just keep going for a while. Kind of working on things. Wait, how does it spawn those at all? Oh, that rapid fire. Pretty terrible. Ooh, what's this? Failed to load ball of light PNG. Oh. Do you know why it failed to load that? Because it's supposed to load a particle, not an image. I forgot to change that part. Oops. Alright, so... guess I'll keep all this. Actually, the map image is the same. I don't even want to bother with that. Is it the same? That's a statement that I don't know if it's true. Actually, do I make a projectile or do I just use an image? Huh. Huh. Maybe I might make a change here. I guess this is fine for now. I don't really use Ghost Form anymore, but I think I'll just do that, and then I won't go to all the trouble to make a whole other system. That seems unnecessary. It might look okay to have the light ball, I don't know. But I think that I would rather keep it simple. You know, the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. That's where we're at right now. I want it just something people can play with. We're not doing anything creative or crazy beyond, you know, what's already here. The goal is to have something playable by Saturday. I'm just going to balance it like crazy. Make it interesting. Come back here. Oops. Failed to load. Oh. This is one of those derp moments because I have all the items set over here. Also, I want to see if it has an extra PNG it doesn't need. I might just use like regular, like an arm doll part and not have all the different types. I don't think I need them all. Just do Mortal Kombat style where there's a million, you know, everything is made entirely of arms or something. I mean, used to blow up and there'd be like 3 or 4 heads that came flying at them. It's like, but wait, they don't, what the, like 4 or 5 legs, no torsos, and you're like, what did I just kill? I don't know. It's terrifying though. Oh my gosh, I came out of Silent Hill. No, thank you. The mouse movement feels good until it doesn't. It's pretty wonky. It does this slide thing too, which is kind of weird. God, impact isn't very good. Was the thing invincible? It only triggers sometimes. It's very weird. Very hard to hit. I might not use the impact system. I don't know. They're almost too fast. If you stop trying to fight it all, it doesn't work. What were they hitting on? It's those things. Alright, new strategy. I mean, you just want the light item to spawn. And it isn't spawning. They're too fast. You're basically forced to run away the whole time. And the main projectile is really not very efficient. Like, it's smarter, but it just doesn't hit the enemies. Also, I don't know what's spawning here, but Oops. Actually, let's just format selection all things so we're right here. So we discovered they are way too fast. Have that speed. put through off on the awesomeness, just in case they're really close, so they don't get stuck on the player. Slow them down to about half speed. And then, yeah. We'll see on how much I get to do. I really want to balance these three a bit so that they're more playable. I mean, I pretty much come up with attack patterns for two of them that didn't exist yesterday, and improved the others and created a pool for them and made 2 fonts and a bunch of improvements tonight. And the boss, I think I want to have it do some sort of pool setup for everything, so. Why is impact not very good? Like, it destroys itself if it gets too close, but it doesn't actually hurt that. Then where'd all the lights go? It's like they broke. There's a slight problem with how this works. This attack is very ineffective. Look at that, it just doesn't work. Does this other one work? Let's see. Maybe I might have to go the nearest enemy strategy again. I hit it. I think magic needs to go way faster. This attack is awful. Oh, I need to work on that. It being such an important attack, I just can't have it be crap like that. It's not working. But they're all kind of not very good. And I think it's all to do with the impact. I think it'd be not that good. Or I guess the impact was sort of collider that kind of sucks. They're all the same size. That one hit the thing. My stomach's reminding me that I haven't eaten in a while. And it's like, hey buddy, what you doing? It's been like 6+ hours. Want to eat something? I'm like, maybe. And it's like, do ya? I'm like, maybe. So how are we handling this projectile situation here? I thought impact and collides were exactly the same. It's just that one changed cell switches and the other didn't. Oh. Yeah, they're largely the same. I mean, they just have the hit by option. I might need to rewrite it for distance, but the problem with the distance plan is that it isn't very effective for dealing with the environment. It's good for other stuff, but the environment just sucks. Hmm. Actually, let me try something real fast. This could be a pixel movement issue before I worry about my plugins, which worked before. Oh, I always leave off grid on. Oh wait, do I? I might need to turn it off. Can't remember which way it worked when you have it on pixel movement, if off grid was important or not, but probably not. This actually worked pretty well. The memory source one way messes it up entirely, so we don't want that. Oh, none of these get really slow for memory servers. Well, pixel movement means they hit better. Oh yeah, they hit way better. Okay, why don't you speed these up then? Move towards doesn't work very well, right? That's what it was? This might be why I had the triple move thing. Here. This might cause a problem, actually. I guess I gotta run this in between each of these. An unfortunate drawback on how this works, but for now, I needed this projectile working, and it's just not checking because of the grid system. It just messes it up. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I can't have inconsistency like that, so we're gonna fix it. That's how it's gonna be. There's a lot of inconsistencies in this that just don't seem so great to me. That time it didn't hit either. Why don't you work correctly? That time it worked. there errors going on? No. These ones hittable? Ah, slow she moved. I can't even hit him. And then I have this set from Death, it does that too, the wrong color. Let me fix that real fast, so I'm thinking about it. Oh, where does it even set that? All the tint screens have skips on them. I guess it doesn't matter right now. That's kind of weird. I'll figure it out later. It's more pressing that the projectile is having real problems. Impact just doesn't work right. Somehow it's impacting something else first, I guess, and it's causing a problem. I guess I could favor the enemies first. But why would that matter? Because it's not even coming close to hitting the those. Or is it, I guess? Let's do this here. Player spawned equals true. Let's make a pecking order here. Oops. No, I want this near the order too. I think the enemy ones work fine. It's the player ones that work weird. Oh, I'm not going to change that yet. I like the stream delay on this. I probably want to make it where it's less of a stream delay. Like, it seems like it's a really long time. Those work. That one's huge though, right? Yeah. They're not fast enough. Come on. Yeah, they're just like invincible. I mean, it hit him, but I think distance calculations might be necessary. The collision thingy is just too weird. I thought it'd be so much more efficient, but it's just not. It's good for these. It's unfortunate because those are a lot easier to see and work out, but as it is now, things aren't quite working the way I want them to. I need a better method somehow. Yeah, it just doesn't trigger it. Ugh. Well, I think I'll call it for tonight. This seems like a problem that's going to take quite a lot of effort to fix because I'm going to have to do some restructuring entirely of that. Also, that managed to destroy that somehow, which shouldn't be possible. Yeah. Anyway, tomorrow I'm going to work on fixing this issue here, and I'm also going to work on making the Annabelle boss actually do something. Preferably a giant thing that just darkens the whole screen, and if you take too long, like if it gets too dark, then it's just like an instant kill or something. Got them add to my notes. Annabelle boss. Full screen, darkness. Darkness. Gets too great. Kill player. There we go. Yeah, I gotta be up for work tomorrow anyway in about 7 hours, so I'm gonna call it. Anyway, I will catch everyone tomorrow at 1 a.m. Pacific. My continued quest to make Diablo in RPGMaker. Probably not the smartest thing you could do. I should probably have made it in Unreal Engine, but listen. It's cooler if you can succeed in making it an RPGMaker because, well, like the guy who managed to play Doom on a pregnancy test. It's just one of those scenarios where nobody thinks you can do it. And everybody wonders why you would do it, but it's at least enough to attract the attention of people who are morbidly curious. Anyway, have a wonderful night, and I will catch everyone tomorrow.